And hello to all my Libra friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for June 2022. Now today they've dialed up for you a storyline spread, casts a very wide net across the entire Libra spectrum. It allows me to be quite accurate because it's like a bunch of mini readings all in one. We're looking at a bunch of different Libra energies going on in the month of June. Always a fascinating spread because it can talk about anything really in there. It can be about love, health, work, finances. It can be all over the place really. So there's going to be multiple stories in there. 3, 4, 5, 6 if spirit is really chatty, but really it's all about finding the story that's right for you. There may be multiple stories that do resonate with you, but at the end of the day, it's about finding that home run story. So what story is for you, we will find out, and at the end of your reading, we're going to do a runestone that's going to bring it all together. I've been asked to do a telling time spread for you guys as well. So that is a very fascinating one because they're giving you a window of opportunity within this next 12 months is how that usually works. So telling time is what we'll conclude your reading with at the end. Very interesting stuff lies ahead. We'll waste no more time, Libra. Cards are already shuffled. I'm going to bring you in right now so you can watch. Go ahead and hit that like button if you're ready to have a great June. And we are recording. We're on. What I'm doing now are my ritual cuts. Basically, I cut each deck into thirds, put it back together in a separate order, satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot, and then they're ready to go. Do that with both of these decks here. And we're ready. So here we go with Libra storyline for the month of June. I start the storylines with 5 cards, so here's your first core set. We're going to need more cards than this. Let me just see how we're lining up here. Looks good. How many more is the question? That's going to be it right there. Okay. So sometimes storylines get big and take up my entire table. This still may take up a lot of room, but it's not as big. At least it's not 2 rows long. There was a storyline that I did this month. I forget the sign, but it was like 14 cards, 14 base cards. So this is, much significantly less. So thank you, Libra, for not, doing that to me. Here we go. Let's figure out where we're going with this. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. We got 3 stories. It's going to look just like this. The blockages, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 7. That's okay. We'll check individually after I get the rest of the cards. This is going to need 2 cards here. This is where the table gets a little bit occupied. I will move the camera around so you can see everything. Once I get this all wrapped up, get all my extra cards done. And make sure that you see everything like I do. Okay, so this is going to need a discard here. We're 2/3 blocked. They want that all upright, so that's what we'll do. Order needs to stay identical. Make sure that all does that, and there we go. Over here we got 4 blocked out of, so 2/3 are blocked here. We're going to do a discard there also. That they want left just the way it is. And over here, that's a good distribution, so it's ready to go. Just need an angel card for every single story right now. And then it's just a matter of letting you see it, getting it all on view for you. Okay, so this is it. I'm trying to shuffle this in a way that it'll show up on the camera. I'm not sure if we can get it all with this. I might have to take it off. Let's start with the top one. Should be able to see that. That's pretty much here, story 1. Story 2 is going to be on this side over here. I'm going to take this off actually. So there we go. Now you can see story 2. And then story 3 is down here. Let's get to work, Libra. Time to do it. Okay, so I'm going to do it in the way that I just showed you. So I'm going to start up here, kind of the smaller story. All right, got everything situated. We are ready to go. First thing they're talking about here, Libra, is it's a mixed group. I'm trying to see which way they're going with it specifically here. There's a brand new renewal coming in from a lot of my Libras. A lot of you guys got some new kind of money coming in. It's presented like you kind of already know that this is on its way. It's an interesting message. You kind of see this coming. It is a money message, a financial message. It can also be about health, but they gave me 2 money cards in this mix, so I don't think it's as much about health. Anytime we get pentacles in here, pentacle is a coin, but it can also signify health in tarot. So I at least have to give you that this could be a brand new health kick. But for the most of you, for most of my audience, that are in the story at all. Because keep in mind, we have 3. My story 1 Libras they're calling for a brand new renewal here, to the point where they brought in the death card to show it to you. So this means that whatever you're trying to do here, whatever you're trying to change, it needs to be cellular level. So all of it, not just 99%, not 90%, not 75%. It's got to be all. Everything has to change with it. So there can be no remnants of the past here, okay? Long story short, with this health change or this financial change. For a lot of you, this is new business related, new work related. I see this card come up for a new job. I also see it come up for new home projects, new redecorations, or just work goals in general. They're talking about work and money very strongly here in story number 1. And they kind of tie it all in here with the prosperity card. That is my angel oracle card. Basically says that your material needs are being provided to you as you manifest your dreams into reality. So it's a very positive omen. And I feel like a lot of you kind of see this coming. You see the writing on the wall. You kind of know that, the train is headed down the track. It's coming this way. Here it is. Or, June, here it is, right? And that's really what it is. It's eye on the prize, eye on the goals. Keep pushing ahead toward your goals, your financial goals, and your work goals. Story number 1. Story number 2. I did say there. Yep. Yes. Story number 2, we talk first about really taking authority over work. They're talking about work again here. That first story was more about financial than work, but there was a little bit of work in there. But story 2 starts right off the bat with work. We have a King of Wands, which is my authority over work. Basically what that means. Here they're showing that something with work is hung up or not moving, stagnated a little bit, stuck, not really going anywhere at the moment. It doesn't mean that it's going to be like that all of June, but the likelihood is that something does get stuck. And how long does it get stuck for, I'm not sure. They don't really show me that in the context of a general reading here, but we do have the Hangman. So at some point this will break free. I don't know if June is it or not. Next card we're describing here is another wand, which is usually work, business, and enterprise here. And this is the 6 inverted. So here we have a small little setback with work. So expect that in the month of June, especially since it's probably part of this stagnation. It's part of this Hangman energy. So something here is like a setback because it's not really moving. Something's not getting done. Let's say you work for, you have a purse business, okay? So your shipper, the freight might get hung up, or the actual truck might not come when it's supposed to, or something like that. It's basically, that's what hangups are. And it sets the business back as a small setback. The key word there is small. It's not a travesty. It's not a tragedy. I'm trying to think. There's probably plenty of other ways that they could paint this picture as being a really terrible thing. They didn't do that. They kind of described it as like a small deal, and maybe this is just a day. Maybe this is a couple days, could even be a week. It's not going to be the whole month, but this is just letting you know that there's going to be some kind of delays, some kind of funkiness in there. Okay. As we continue that story, same story, they do bring up something that is not birthed yet in the Empress card. It is inverted. Now that is feminine energy, but in the case of, since we're talking so strongly about work here, I mean, they gave me double wands. It's unavoidable that they're talking about work here. Actually, I have another wands here in the 9 of wands. I'm sorry, I have the 8 too. I have a whole bunch of wands. We got wands all over the place. This is all about work, guys. Story number 2 is all about work. There's something is not birthed yet. With fertility inverted, it means lack of fertility or no birth. Non-birth, non-new, hasn't become physical yet, because that's what a birth is. It's when an idea becomes actual solid. So this is not like when you think of a new business. This is when you open the doors to a new business. So this is coming in blocked here. It's part of the story. It's saying that June is probably not it. Maybe if there's something you're trying to do for work to better yourself. I mean, you wouldn't do anything purposely to detriment to yourself and work. So you are trying to better yourself here, but keep in mind that they're suggesting that June may not be the time. It may not be the time to launch. It may not be the time to birth anything brand new. Maybe kind of stick to the script a little bit in June as regards to work. They do show getting over some kind of a injury type of deal. Usually this is physical type of injuries, but it does tie into work. So it can be either one or even both at the same time. This could be like if you work too hard physically with your body, straining something, you can get hurt by doing that. So please be cautious. If you have a physical job, just be a little, play it safe in the month of June, because I do have that injury card coming in there. And it can also be getting over an injury. So some of you may already have been injured and you're getting over that to a point. Or you may just feel a little beaten up at work and you're kind of moving to a point here in June where you can actually start healing from that. So it is kind of on the right direction there. I feel like most of that energy has already had its way, and now you're kind of on the other side of that part of it. May not have anything directly to do with that hang up. This may just be the entire work scope for Libras in the month of June for something that's going on there. They also bring up the slowest card in the deck here, my Eight of Wands. It is inverted, so the fastest card becomes the slowest card. And that's what we have here. So slow it down. I mean, you may not have a choice with the Hangman card coming in here. Things may just be slow, or some aspect may be slow in general. And that's okay, because if that's not what is happening, that is the advice. So they're saying to slow down here. If it's not already slow, it may just be an automatic thing. Like I said, it might just happen on its own. But otherwise, if it doesn't, you may just want to slow it down. You're not going to benefit yourself any by, talking a mile a minute, worrying about 100 things per day about when is this going to change, or when is this going to get birthed, when is this thing going to launch, all these things, right? They show overcoming difficulties. You can see story 2 is a difficult one. There are setbacks, there are delays. So that falls under the difficulties category, the difficulties umbrella. That's what they gave us here in the Oracle Angel card, overcoming difficulties. They're saying that the worst is behind you and that you're now surmounting these challenges. So it doesn't mean that the worst is behind you in June. But as June plays its course, the worst will be behind you. So June is kind of the challenging month here for story 2 in regards to a lot of my Libras at work. Not everybody is going to be here in story 2, guys, okay? So please pay attention to story 1. Please pay attention to story 3, which will be next. But first, I do got to give you guys the moon cycle forecast. I like to give you guys that every single month so you know what's coming. We have on June 14th is the full moon. That's the best time to get anything out of your life that doesn't fit anymore. Get it out with the full moon. It doesn't have to be on the 14th. Anytime right around the middle of the month is great for getting anything out, wrapping up projects, quitting bad habits, getting people out of your life that are garbage, just with the rest of the garbage, reselling things, repurposing things, all that kind of energy. Very, very nicely in the middle of June. Keep that in mind. We have the new moon energy actually twice in the month of June. It's fascinating because it comes in a little bit early from May. It's still a little leak over. And we have most of it, though, on June 28th. That is the new moon peak. That is when the best time is to bring anything brand new into your life that wasn't there before. We talked about that earlier in the complete change. That actually could be full moon either way. That could be one or the other. It depends on if that complete change in story 1 is bringing something new in or getting something out. But here in story 2, this is talking about a launch of something that is probably not yet. So, if it does happen in June, it's going to be late June, okay? It's going to be probably under the new moon when we're almost out of June, and then this energy starts to break. Just like how they were talking about how you're getting over these injuries and getting over kind of the beaten up, stagnant part, overcoming difficulties, and the worst is behind you. So that is an example of the moon cycles, and the new moon is bringing anything brand new into your life. It doesn't have to be about anything we talked about whatsoever. This could be brand new love you're trying to bring in if you're trying to meet a partner and date, all that kind of stuff. If you're trying to bring in a new health regimen for yourself, new exercise program, new diet, you're trying to bring in new job, new financial moves, all that kind of stuff is much better at the end of June, guys. It doesn't have to be on the 28th, anytime around there. I put together a moon cycle cheat sheet to give you guys a visual aid with this stuff, help you out a little bit, and that is free. It's on my website, scottsagent.com. It's parked on my videos page. You go to the bottom of that, and there you see the graphic for June. It shows you the ebbs and flows, and you can just align things, important things in your life with that, and it'll just make it stick a lot easier. So that is your moon cycles, guys. While you're on the website, remember to sign up for the newsletter if you have not yet. My newsletter group gets a couple free readings every year. I take really great care of my newsletter people. And also, they just beta tested a brand new product of mine, which I'll talk about later. But that is a no-brainer, guys. It's free. I only send one newsletter email each month. It's just for updates, promo codes, and the free stuff you can get whenever new products are coming out and you're aware of it. Updates, all that good stuff. Lots of good stuff there. So the newsletter program is a no-brainer. And I just talked about my brand new product. I just teased it a little bit there. That is called my Health or Chakra Scrub. That's the one we did last month. It just launched. It has had tremendous success, great ratings, great reviews. We do one or the other. We talk about your health scrub, which is your physical health, or we talk about your chakra scrub, which is your spiritual health, your chakra health. And you get one or the other, whichever you prefer. And it is a mini reading. It's audio, so you don't even have to show up. I just use your date of birth to pull the energy straight from you. So there is none of this bubble Libra energy that we're using here today. Also, the My Month is a very popular one that talks about your month, uses a little bit of numerology. It also uses your birth date, mini reading, very affordable. And the very final one is my Angel Protection and Animal Totems package. With that one, you get both, and that is a very deep dive and very different insight than the other products. So all those are available on the website for purchase on the audio products page. And very easy because you don't have to do anything. You just kind of send it off and you get it a couple days later. Very, very fast. So that's that. Make sure you check all that out, guys. And let's get into your story number 3. Story 3, we talk about something that needs to be left behind here. This is very middle of the month full moon energy, but you have a hesitancy to do that. There's something that you don't want to leave behind. You're really kind of in it to win it. You've kind of stuck it out, maybe longer than you should have, but you know, the time is the time. And June is a part of this. You know, next they show one of two things. The Chariot card inverted to me can be a car that is in, it's upside down, so it's in some kind of disrepair. Doesn't mean that you're going to flip your car. It can mean that you have a flat tire. It can mean that you have car problems. You need car maintenance, something like that. It has another definition too. I got to give it all to you in a general reading. The other part of the Chariot is just, well, this is an inverted Chariot. So usually the Chariot would be, it's pulling in two different directions. They want you to pull it into one. And since it's inverted, they're saying you're too tunnel visioned here and you need to spread it out. And that kind of goes with the in it to win it. You know, there's something that you've really devoted yourself here to. I don't know if it's a person or a project or what, but you are way too tunnel visioned tight on this. They really want you to expand your vision. You know, zoom out a little bit here. They do show a very fast change coming in. With my Tower card, that can be a breakup. That's the best way to describe the energy, is a breakup, because one day it's here, the next day it's not. It's just that sudden boom change. Does not mean it's a breakup. It can be anything that facilitates that energy, that has that same kind of boom. It's gone. Okay, so that's what comes in here attached to that car or that tunnel vision. It's one of the two things. They do show that you're giving something away a little bit too much here. We have the theft or loss card, but you're actually the one, I don't want to say stealing, but it's almost like you're giving it away. You're giving it away too much. So is it your time? Is it your energy? Is it your effort? I'm not sure, but this is really making me feel like this is about a person. And it may not be for everybody, but those of you who are not in my first two stories here, this could very well be about a person here in story 3. Just giving you some things so you can wrap the context around and make it make sense for you. The last thing they give us as a little clue here is clear cognizance. It's basically angel cards saying, pay attention to your thoughts and ideas that come to you. They're answered prayers. So pay attention to that which occurs to you, dream state, ideas that pop in your head. A lot of the time it's going to be divinely guided stuff in the month of June. Obviously, they're trying to help you here in story 3 to the point where you're just not in it to win it like this, to the point where you're just not going anywhere with it. It's almost like this needs to get moving. This needs to get settled and resolved, something like that. So that is the entire storyline spread, all 3 stories. Let's get your Runestone, guys. And I got to tell you too, Libra, this is my 1-year celebration here on YouTube. I've been reading tarot for 8 years, but on YouTube for 1 complete year now. So thank you for a great year. For all your support, it has meant the world. So here's your Runestone right here. Let me show you. This Runestone, Libra, fascinating enough, is opening. Something is opening here. A window We're going to talk about windows a little bit more in telling time. They're going to give you openings right there, little windows of opportunity is what I call them. And here in opening, they want you to pay attention to time slots here, not only with the moon cycles, but what we kind of gave you about order of how these things need to go. For example, in story 1 there, that change has to be cellular level. It has to be full. So you're going to have a chance to show that you can get that done. Over here, story 2, the opening could be something like, maybe by being calm, maybe by slowing things down, the opening is going to present itself to get this hang-up resolved. Maybe the lesson there is patience. Maybe you need to just slow down a little bit. Like I said, stop going 100 miles an hour. Maybe you need to be going about 30. Okay, so that is opening. It's an opportunity that's presenting itself. And it doesn't mean the entire month. It's probably just going to be a short little snippet of time. So let's get into time next, because that is your telling time. I did use a lot of cards here, guys, so I am going to reshuffle just to make sure I'm thorough with the telling time. I try to be thorough with all my stuff as much as I can. And since I use so many cards, it's just a requirement at this point. So I'm going to cut away while I shuffle so you don't get bored having to watch that. I will be right back. Okay, Libra, I am back. Here is telling time. The first round is going to be very, very highly significant dates. These are dates that you just cannot miss no matter what. There are very, very important to the point where there is just no fluidity at all. It's these dates or the highway. So this is the first round. We may or may not get any dates this first round. Depends on how significant the information is that they're trying to pass on. Maybe this is not about a day. Maybe this is about a week. Maybe this is about a month. We're going to find out. And the first round has come up with nothing. Duds. So that means we're doing another round here. And what it also means is that it's just tuned down a notch. So these are still important dates, but not to the point that they want you to dwell on it overboard. We already got one date. I'm seeing if there's any more. Maybe they just want to talk about the one. Or maybe there's multiples. A couple more cards here. And we are through it. There is one date, one specific time frame that they want you guys to pay attention to. I'm going to add on some time to it with 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do a card here to talk about what it's about. And also an angel card to talk about what it's about. And I need to do some calculations now, some math, so I will cut away one last time and I will be right back. Okay, Libra, I am back for the final time here, guys. We have the date. It is September 23rd specifically. I do need to bracket more time around that, so we're going to look at basically the last more or less week of September. Let's call it September 20th through the 27th. I don't know what the moon cycles are that month because I don't have it in front of me right now. But they gave me the moon cycle oracle card. So there's something very important, whatever moon cycle is near that. I don't know if it's the new moon or full moon at that time, at that month, but that is something you need to pay attention to very much in the month of September. So how are you going to remember that? Well, the only way you'd remember that is to write it down. Make a little notation that, the end of September has a huge moon cycle for my Libras, or for you individually. It's going to affect just about everybody, guys. Now, what is it about specifically? The context of this is going to be different for everybody. They did leave this a little vague, but this is nurturing your love corner. This could be about somebody that you love. This could be about you finding love, you basically loving yourself to go find a good partner, something like that. That is very, very important for the month of September. And with moon cycles coming up, they're also letting me know that this is important for you either bringing it in or kicking it out. Depends which it is. And you need to pay attention to those moon cycles in September, if not before, because they're just giving you the card. I'm just going to show you, just so you believe me, because I know I talk about the moon cycles a lot, but this is the moon cycle card. And they're just kind of reaffirming that this date for Libras is important for that. Now, the question may be, why are they telling us that now? They want you to be aware of it in advance. I'm not sure what that is for. It depends on, I guess every story would be different. I would maybe tell my singles who do not want to be single, who want to meet somebody great, by September, figuring out the moon cycles, get everything in a row. So by September, you're ready to go. Because I'm thinking that, if you're single, there could be some good partners coming in September. Even if you're in a relationship, there may be some good opportunities here to advance your relationship. Let's say you're single and dating somebody. Maybe by late September, this moves into a different phase. Maybe this advances. Maybe this falls apart. Bring it in, bring it out with those moon cycles. So for whatever reason, they want you to pay attention to September. You may want to plan important things with the family that later in September. If there's something that you're ready to do in a few months, but not right now, that could be a very, very big indicator. So there's something going on in September in regards to your love corner, which is tough to pinpoint because your love corner is huge. It is anybody close to your heart can come up for that. Close friends, family members, etc., siblings, like I said, anybody close to your heart. Even I've seen pets come up here. So something about September, very important for my Libras. Please do something so you remember that. It's coming up for a reason. So that's it for me, guys. That is the entire reading. Thank you so much for everything, for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future videos. That's it for me. Have a wonderful June.